Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning.
Yes, we start the review with THISDAY, Nigeria's newspaper of record. Yes, we start with the story. You can't bully free press. Silence media. THISDAY, Arise editors tell Alake Onanuga says don't want to use press council to gag media, create dictatorship, assure Tinubu of fair, robust coverage. Yes, THISDAY, Arise Media Group editors had to put up this statement yesterday because of what has become a pattern of attack on the group. Its chairman, Prince Nduka Bagbena, Dele Alake, Director of Strategic Communication, and of course, Bayo Onanuga, Director of Media of the Tinubu Campaign Council. These are top professionals when it comes to journalism. But what happened? What has happened now, you want to ask, because their style, their strategy in projecting their principle has become that of attacking instead of responding to issues. Yes, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the presidential candidate of the APC, did not show up at this Arise town hall meeting. No big deal, really. It was his choice, but the reason being given, to the extent that even the Tinubu himself saying the reason why he did not attend some of these the town hall meeting is because he doesn't want to use him to make money because he is popular. But that is even just beside the point. If that were just all there is to it, we wouldn't bother. But incessant attacks, wanting THISDAY and the Arise Group to report in a certain way, we are for all and we are for nobody, to choose a popular phraseology. As journalists, we do our job objectively, but robustly, that you cannot take away from THISDAY, Arise Group. What is the problem, you want to ask? Why are people scared to put their principle? You want to be Nigeria's president, you must be open to Nigerians. You must be ready to answer questions. They say, those who throw stones, no, those who live in glass houses should not walk naked. When you come to public, you want to be a public officer, you want to be president, you're already in a glass house because we are all viewing you. Whatever there is to eat, we'll ask questions and you must provide answers. If you feel the kitchen is too hot, you get out of the kitchen. The issue of which most media organizations have been asking, of course there are papers there. We don't want the Norega moment in Nigeria. There are issues concerning drug deal forfeiture. And each time the Tinubu campaign visits this issue, they want to put down the journalists. They want to attack the journalists. I remember the other day, one of the campaign spokesmen telling the journalist, take your paper and pen. And he started ranting what some have called legal rubbish. Now, again, the attack is on THISDAY. One press release after the other. Rufai, kudos. When they go low, you go high. I commend you for showing them love, even in the face of attack.
I love them.
Yes.
I love them all.
Yes, the Michelle Obama style. When they go low, you go high. But let's look at other stories on the front page of THISDAY. Of course, the lead story Coincidentally, Tinubu, I won't be president of all, I will be president of all Nigerians, fair and just. Atiku is articulating barefaced lies, says APC. Come clean on your source of wealth, ex-VP, tells former Lagos governor. Northern Group urges Nigerians not to return ruling party to power. Of course, the presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, making his own point about what Atiku has been doing, calling them barefaced lies. But Atiku, responding yesterday, asked Tinubu to explain the source of his wealth to Nigerians and stop beating around the bush. That's how Atiku puts it. Now, let's just look at other newspapers. The Vanguard newspaper, of course, the same theme, 2023, Atiku Tinubu in verbal war over bid for power, wealth. The Daily Sun, Tinubu Atiku fight dirty. He will destroy Nigeria. APC candidate warns, you are not fit to rule, says PDP candidate. Well, the Daily Tribune, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, the Nigerian Tribune, PDP crisis. I am waiting for Wike. I met him 5 times. Atiku as Autumn Tambuwal meets. Atiku campaign raises posers over Tinubu's wealth claim, alleges EFCC bias. Atiku's declaration to sell NNPC assets for $10 billion, a huge joke. APC PCC. Tinubu meets Southwest Muslim leaders in Ibadan. While the New Telegraph newspaper 2023, Tambuwal visits Autumn 6 end to party's impasse. Says crisis, political conflict, not war of attrition. Talking to me alone won't help meet all 5 governors. Benue State Governor responds, urges Christians to vote patriotic leaders. Now, the Nation newspaper, yes, the Nation newspapers, the lead story, Wike, same faith, not reason to dump South candidate. Tinubu Shetima ticket will be fair to all. I reset economy for faster growth, says Tinubu. President drums up support for APC candidate. Then the Guardian newspaper, foreign airlines retains 200% high fares. Stranded funds hit $55 million. While the
$551 million.
551, okay, $551 million. Thank you, Rufai. $551 million. The Daily Independent newspaper, federal government's tight fiscal policies in 2023 may put businesses on edge. Analysts say they will lead to more cases of job cuts. While the Business Day newspaper, 2023 manifestos fall short as Nigeria faces critical juncture. The foreign newspapers quickly, the Times of London, drafting in troops won't prevent NHS strike crisis. Ministers want doctors could be out too. Some 750 members of the armed forces will be drafted to drive ambulances as paramedics are set to go on strike come December 21, the first in 30 years in the UK. But concern from NHS that even that will not scratch the problem because there will still be major crisis as a result of that strike. Nurses are also planning to join the strikes. Now, the Financial Times, 2 members of European Parliament held as Qatari corruption scandal shakes European Parliament. Belgian judge charges 4 people 600,000 euros in cash. Sees Doha denies influence peddling. Yes, the European Parliament is enmeshed in corruption scandal as some members are alleged to have collected some money. But as part of the investigation into the claims that World Cup host Qatar sought to buy influence? Ruben Rufai and Ayo.
Well, let's comment on the UK, where it looks like clearly there's going to be a winter of discontent. Efforts to cut a deal with the health sector has not worked. Even Steve Barclay, the health secretary, the health minister, is not been so forthcoming about negotiating. Government is holding on to this position that the wage increase, the pay wage increases that workers in the public sector in the UK are asking for is not affordable because it will push up inflation. And that in any case, government will just have to borrow more and the cost of borrowing will go up. The Prime Minister himself has said these workers are unreasonable. But the question is, this conflict between government or employers of labor and the private and public sector, will it ever end? Because workers will always say as the cost of living goes up, then of course, the pay should also rise. But many governments will say, no, wage indexation is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Where do you draw the line? Now that the UK is going to face very massive strike, a lot of disruptions, holidays will be disrupted. People are going to have an unusual kind of Christmas because they will have been hobbled by all these strikes in the hospitals, at the airports. Many airlines have already cancelled their flights. Rail will be disrupted. The RMT union, all these unions, they've come together under the umbrella of Unite and other unions to say, let's shut down the country. However, what you refer to is that the military are going to be called in, okay, to drive ambulances, to work as paramedics, because there could be emergencies, emergency 1 category, emergency 2 category. These are emergencies that will be life-threatening, and people, the elderly, will be particularly at risk. But even the soldiers themselves are not happy. Military chiefs are saying this could disrupt, the morale, could destroy the morale of soldiers. But, each time I hear that a country faces an emergency and they call in soldiers, I always ask our own soldiers, do we have enough soldiers to call to come and drive ambulance or to step in at the occasion of emergency? But maybe the comparison will be unfair. But clearly, with regard to these labor strikes, England, the UK faces a serious challenge.
I thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel Feni. Unfortunately, we're out of time, so we have to go now.